In an effort to collaborate with all well-meaning stakeholders from both public and private industries, the 2025 UFEZ Zambia Conference has kicked off in Livingstone. Host United Federation of Employers UFEZ President Humphrey Monde says the conference looks at reducing bureaucratic barriers and creating incentives for both domestic and foreign investors, among many other key strategies.
All are aware investment does not happen in a vacuum. It requires a supportive policy environment, access to skilled labor, reliable infrastructure, and a spirit of trust and cooperation between all stakeholders. We therefore stand committed to supporting and enabling business environment that is transparent, efficient, and predictable. We'll continue to work with government on strengthening regulation, reducing bureaucratic barriers, and creating incentives for both domestic and foreign investors.
And on overcoming investment challenges in the higher education sector, Director Quality Assurance Higher Education Authority, Dr. Martin Mshumba, says there's need to plan in the higher education and leverage on the free education policy.
We want to position education as the best economic factor, the best economic policy in our country. We cannot position education as the best economic policy for this country, given these problems that we have in our higher education sector.
Beauty Siasende Zimba is a registrar and CEO, Nesime Duwaferi, Council of Zambia, NMCZ, and hints that the sector is faced with human resource crisis, especially in rural areas.
We have a critical crisis of shortage of healthcare professionals in urban and specifically in rural areas, as already mentioned by my former speaker. The majority of resources are concentrated in urban areas, leaving rural communities underserved, which significantly impacts health outcomes such as maternal and child mortality rates.
Also, General Secretary, Federation of Free Trade Unions of Zambia, Nelson Mwale, has charged that some employers have not embraced unionism.
A number of employers have not accommodated unionism in workplaces. As a result, there's trampling on the rights of the workers in any way. An employer would think of, stepping on the rights of the workers. It's very, very unfortunate. So from here, I hope we improve. We accommodate unionism because the accommodation of unionism is provided for by the provisions of Section 5 of the Industrial and Labor Relations Act, Chapter 269.
And in response to the concerns raised among many other keynote speakers, government says it is implementing reforms to improve Zambia's labor market. Permanent Secretary Labor and Social Security Zakaria Luhanga said this in a speech on behalf of Minister of Labor Brenda Tambatamba.
And to that end, my Ministry of Labor and Social Security continues to implement wide-ranging reforms to improve Zambia's labor market governance. For instance, as we speak now, we are reviewing the National Employment Labor and Market Policy. By June, this policy will be ready, and we are appealing to all of you, when we reach out to you, give us your views so that we have a policy which speaks to the industry.
The event has brought together local and international investment experts, policymakers, and stakeholders to explore opportunities, address challenges, and promote sustainable development in Zambia. The partners include Terawat Engitech, an Indian private limited company, Techmaster Zambia Limited, the Health Professions Council of Zambia, the Higher Education Authority, and the Public-Private Dialogue Forum, among others. Alfred Chimba reporting for Crown TV News in Livingstone, Southern Province.